when you're selling, you're still trading your time for money versus, when you build, you're multiplying yourself, you're creating value of what you've done and expanding that to your team. And if you like the selling part, you like the communication and the connections with people, you could do the same thing when you're building. You're now communicating and creating the relationships with your agents on an ongoing basis. So there's fun in either way, but yeah, just keep on evolving because kind of like what Trisha's saying, it gets to a point where you have a mastery of it, and what else is challenging at that point, right?
Thanks for joining us this week on the Elite Sales Podcast. I'm happy to be joined this week in studio by John Bacaron. We're sporting the baseball jersey and the baseball bat with FFL Elite Syndicate. We actually have the Kicks for Kids event coming up this weekend. I'm looking forward to that. This is a shoe drive that the Dream Center does every single year. Also, our prayers go out to Pastor Matthew. I believe he posted he had a stroke, so we wish you a speedy recovery. And we know how much you do for the community, so our hearts go out for you, and our prayers do. But we also have the Kicks for Kids event that's this weekend. On Sunday, we have the shoe drive that's going to be donating shoes to needy children, and it's going to be a great event. If you want to donate, we have the link. It's dreamcenter.org. There you can go on there. You can pledge and make a donation, or if you have shoes to donate, you can do all that too. Brand new shoes anyway, not your dirty old shoes. We also have the LA Sales Conference that follows the day after.
Before that, Jack's thing. Are you telling everyone or no?
Oh yeah, in case it goes out later, but
yeah,
we should announce it a little bit. But if anyone's in town, reach out to us. We have an event on Sunday night.
Yeah,
we'll let me know. Let me know by today if you can, so we can get an RSVP and let Jack know. But on Monday we have the LA Sales Conference, and we've shared about this a little bit, but it's going to be free training, top producers, top managers sharing about whatever they do, and practical knowledge that you can go out and hopefully apply and put into your game and grow.
Yeah, right. This is a bigger. So our event, I would consider is smaller compared to this one, because now this one's the whole national. Everyone from the big FFL USA and even some East Coast people are coming out.
It'll be 10 times the size of.
It's a 4,000 capacity area.
Venue, yeah. It'll be at the Dream Center. So for those of you guys who are going to be in town, looking forward to seeing you guys then.
Yeah.
All right, Trisha, are you available? Are we in a better spot now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can.
Better?
All right. Yes.
I'm closer to there's a water park just beyond where I'm at. So you'll hear kids too now, but maybe better reception. How are you all doing?
Much better. Every time you get on, we're always a little bit more uplifted, a little bit more cheery. So
you guys uplift me.
Well,
I'm so excited.
Yes. First of all, congratulations. You just got your new logo, qualified for senior sales manager.
Awesome.
The logo looks amazing.
It's a little matchy, I know, but I'm a little matchy girl. So I love the black and gold before we met. So that just tells you how intertwined we were supposed to be.
That's right.
But this is such a sweet day. I've been waiting for this. I know it's, not as a big of a deal to some others, but it was a big deal for me. And it's just like God's really putting things together. I went through a crazy month of May, kind of piggybacking on what he was saying about all the kids stuff. And so I did all of that in May. Thank God it's over with. So my June is a nice, fresh palette. And I'm actually doing a road trip since Tuesday, and I've wrote quite a bit of business in a county that I've never been in Missouri. So I'm having fun, and just hopping around and got to eat at a good dive today. So I don't know what you guys do when you're out, but that's what I do. It's pretty simple, but a lot of neat families and folks down here that really needed this. I did a financial inventory on a couple last night. They had like 11 policies and it was a mess. And we just got them into 2 really good policies that will be easier transition when someone passes to collect, and there's no waiting periods. And it was actually saved them like $300 a month total.
Wow.
And so we just did our job, you know what I mean? And it feels good to walk away, help them with a couple other things. They didn't want me to leave, you know, and that was just one house. It was like $4,300 in one. Even though I made a really good
Four families.
livelihood, I also saved them $4,000 a year, you know? So just feels good to help folks when they need it. But anyway, I am inviting everybody to 2.5 months, and my co-part Bailey, and everybody knows I'm not a social media person. I'm really trying and thinking to, it's like the first dive in the pool for me. There's so much I get there that I hesitate.
Are we able to get this, Joel? Trish, I'm gonna pause you there for just a second because you are cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This is super.
Is that better?
Not really.
No.
Do you know where the router is? Try to get as close as you can to the router. I don't know if you're on your phone or laptop or.
I um
Maybe, I mean, this is not optimal, but maybe you want to shut off your video because maybe that'll take up less bandwidth.
Yeah. Or just do the audio call in, right?
No. I believe so.
Can you guys see this? It's not us, right?
No, it's well.
We lost her.
All right. So we're having some technical difficulties, but what she was trying to say in that robotic voice of hers is that she actually has a huge recruiting event coming up for the state of Missouri, for the entire state of Missouri, and that's and parts of Illinois since they're neighboring state, but it's going to be July 13th. Bailey's actually opening her new office. It's on the Illinois side. So congratulations. And there's going to be a grand opening on July 13th, which we will be attending. So looking forward. Congratulations to you, Bailey. We also have Trisha's doing her large scale hiring event.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I was just stepping all over your announcement.
It logged me out.
Okay.
You sound so much better.
I'm gonna make it quick.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm gonna keep the video off and try to go quick.
Yeah.
Right.
So, all right, Elite Family. We always put these, hiring events and different stuff together. I thought, well, why don't I just go after licensed agents this time? Of all things, there's a hold on. So I have sent out and sending out about 600 now personal invites to agencies and agency owners here in the Midwest, Illinois, Missouri, and Arkansas, all the way to Kansas City. And it's going to be a team building event for the Angels, but it is all of our group. It got big. And just like I said, it's such a blessing. I was talking to Albert and I said, because I'm really honing in on licensed agents, what do you think if I could try to get Bobby Bridges to come out and talk about Americo? And he's like, well, yeah, it's worth a try. That'd be great. So I was stalking him for like 2 weeks and he wouldn't answer my call. Then he did answer and he kind of, I was like a nobody. And I was like, but he kind of said he'd talk, he'd think about it. And so then I was driving yesterday and I was like, Albert, what's the shot you give me like Sean's phone number? And so I called Sean and I told him the idea and what I was doing. And he was like, oh, that is everything. Like, he was like, this is going to be huge. And he was like, just hold on. I'm going to get Bobby on the phone. And so he calls Bobby on the phone and within like 2 seconds, he's like, why aren't you answering my girl? He was like, this is going to be the biggest event of the year and you need to be there. And how many people we were inviting and the facility and everything that we're doing, which is a lot to get this off the ground. He's like, you know what? America is going to sponsor it. He's like, send me an invoice and and we're going to help you with this. And so it really is just become beyond a blessing. Like, there's people involved now that are going to make the ship move on a broad scale that I did not expect. And so we're going to have Bailey's grand opening is going to be the day before. So Bailey is my partner in downline, and she's 21, and she has all but killed herself, putting all of her money, time. She's been painting. She's been cutting out electrical lines, and I mean, like, anything you can think of, she's did everything she could to try to get this building operational, and it looks great. It's 3,000 square feet, or maybe a little bit more. She'll have a training facility. She'll have a call center. She's got everything. It's right by airport in an industrial park. So I'm really super proud of her. And we're going to have a grand opening house on the 14th. We'll put a flyer out for that. Sean is committed to come the whole next day, which is so flattering and like so exciting. He's going to get there and do the ribbon cutting at that office Friday morning. We're going to go over and have our 3 sessions throughout the day where Albert will speak and all the headliners of our organization, along with Americo. And we're going to contract agents and agencies before they walk out the door. And I've got like commitment tables in the foyer of this auditorium. And you're kind of speaking about how big the Dream Center is. This is the largest venue in the Midwest. So it's about 150,000 square feet, and our LaSalle room is about 4,200 square feet of that. So we're able to seat about 200 people at a time, student-wise, plus have another room to be able to sit privately and contract and commit with them. And then we're going to have a neat night of fellowship. So anybody who would like to come, I would love and be honored for you to be there. Your presence any time of the day is great, these calls. But if you'd like to come and talk or just be a part of this, we'd love for you to be there. All your talent is welcomed. You know much more than I do. And I'm just learning this, but I am so excited about building and building in the right atmosphere. I've never been more sure of what I was doing it for. I just may not know how to do it every step of the way right now, but I am learning. So anyway, it's an official invite, and we're going to put the flyers out there, and we'd love for you to come.
What made you come up with this idea, Tricia?
You know, I'm getting older, and I was out in the field one day, and my kids were calling, and my husband, and he's like, we said this was not going to be you selling out in the field for 5 years. You said you were going to build. Now you promised me that. He kind of held me to the fire. And then, I always said, if I'm going to be away from my kids, it's doggone well going to be worth it. You know what I mean? I'm not coming home without the prize. Well, just being this far away from my kids and doing this, and I haven't really did that whole transitioning to the phone. And I don't know if I'll ever fully transition to the phone, to be honest with you. But I do know this, it works for a lot of people. And I know that they just are good at that. And everybody's got their own niche. Fast forward, I'm here to build an empire. I'm not here to be out in the field. I'm going to be very honest with you. I have God-given talent to love on people and help people. I believe I'm a disciple. I believe that's my duty. I believe it's my duty to change lives. And I'm not going to do it on a small scale. I'm older. I want to do it on a broad scale. So I want to hit the masses. So my epiphany was, I'm not having any old, Ramada Inn, Marriott, 40 people show up, hiring conference. I'm hiring everybody. I'm hiring the people that have already been stable and credible in the business. Not that I'm saying I won't hire people that aren't licensed. This is just this one particular event that I'm going after licensed agents and their agencies and giving them what they deserve, which is opportunity to steward more families and an opportunity to make more money. And I just want to help them do it. And so I managed to get the manpower, the support, and the venue together. And now it's just coming to fruition. So
it's amazing how far this has come along. So I mean, you've got the flyers, which we'll share on the group chat. So if you don't mind, and whoever's in the area, you're welcome to show up and attend. It's going to be a black black and white event, you said?
It is. So my vision for us is like Men in Black meet Hollywood. So
Nice.
everybody FFL is, I want ladies in black and white, men in black and white suits, and I want everybody look sharp. Even yesterday I said, Sean, I said, this is like my 4th request, but I just have to get it in. I said, we're all dressed in black and white. Would you please mind wearing a black suit? And he's like, kid, you're about the only one that's ever told me what to wear somewhere. He said, but I'll tell you what, for you, I'll do it. So he's wearing a black suit too. So
Well,
Bobby Bridges promised a black polo.
Nice. I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's awesome, Trish. I'm really happy for you, first of all, for the promotion and your logo, but just for you to take this next step and just really take ownership over this, because this is entirely your idea. It wasn't, you came to me with the idea and you said, this is what I want, this is what I'm envisioning, this is what I'm gonna do. And then you started, you and your team started going out and passing out these handwritten invitations and these printed out invitations. And I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it is an exciting time. And, I think, we make a success of this. I look forward to duplicating it. I think that this is going to be such a neat way to get a lot of good content. You know what I mean? There's going to be so much, and think of how sharp we'll look in the venue. That really, it's going to catch the eye. It's going to catch people looking at us in a new way, and then my next venture is I'm going to go after small businesses. I have to figure that one out next. So I'm going to make this, yes, it's insurance, but I'm really going to make this about building. My whole life is really going to transform into how can I build entities within FFL.
Right.
I have a question on you on that. So how are you inviting the licensed agents and agency owners? Do you have a specific data or like an account?
You did research about all the businesses. Right?
So it's called Google.
Okay.
I have literally old schooled everything. I looked up their reviews. Bailey looked up the reviews. We've looked at LinkedIn, how long they've been in business, who they're with, what the standardized salary they're probably making, their addresses, emails. And so on the VIP pass, you'll see these things. It actually says, on the back that we know you're John Smith with State Farm. Please, you and your team, or you and your guest, you and your plus 11 team. Like I looked up the contact us and I see there's 4 people under him or whoever. And then those are being hand delivered. So their name is on that invite when they receive that in a gold envelope. I'm not mailing it. I'm having people hand deliver it to their, we're going in and saying, is John Smith here today? And then, hey, John, it's our honor and our privilege to invite you to the industry's event of the year. Please join the revolution, and handing that envelope over.
Yep. So it's called the Revolution, right? That's the name
It
of
is. It is. So I really was thinking about, you see these things, everybody wants to be a part of something, right? Mm-hmm. Some kind of movement right now. Like the movement is being a part of a movement almost in this day and age. And I was thinking, with that being said, and people wanting to be a part of that, and Sean's whole, motto, I'm building an army of agents that are higher paid, the highest paid in the industry. So I really cleave to that. Like, that's what our revolution is. This is your revolution. You're going to revolutionize from where you were to the real world of insurance where we are. We're going to give you a shot.
Right. Well, I mean, no one's ever questioned your work ethic, Tricia. You've always been very committed to helping people. I mean, it's evident in the way that you go out and you go and see people in person. You help out the entire family, and now it's great to see you take the next step in your own career, the thing that you wanted out of this opportunity, and starting to really explode your business and build, and you're doing it in a grand fashion.
Wow, yeah. And then the reason I asked that is you don't have to be Trish to do this. What did she do? What resources does she have? Everyone has the same resource. You can Google, right. You can talk to have a conversation with any licensed agent. You can go on LinkedIn, create your LinkedIn account. They're just going ham with it. We're just hand to hand. Here's an invite.
It's funny. It's funny because Trish is incredibly humble, and she also she doesn't give herself enough credit, because she always talks about how much she struggles for the social media stuff. Because when we always talk about, I'm like, you have a great story to tell. Why don't you share it with more people and like hire? And she's always like, I don't know, do this, I don't do that. But when you ask her, how do you go about this? And she says, Google. I mean, that's the thing. Like technology is like actual knowledge, all this stuff. It's none of that it can like keep us from doing what we want to do if we really want to do it.
Right.
Like there's always a way to like figure it out. If you're motivated enough to do it, you'll find a way.
Yeah. If you have the why, the how will happen.
Yes.
So I credit you to that, because like I'm thinking, oh, dang, how does she cover all of Missouri? How is she gonna like track? There are companies out there that have data on LIMRA, and I mean, like little example for us in California. I could go to California Department of Insurance. I can put in a last name. I can just put in Smith, and all of the Smiths will pull up. Okay, I can click on individual. It'll have their name, their business address, or usually their home address, and a phone number in there. That doesn't stop you guys from doing that. You can go to Missouri Department of Insurance, individually look that up. But for her, she did the extra homework. She Googled the business. She Googled the downline. They got a hand envelope. They're coming out to meet with them. So it's that extra touch that she's going to create for the relationship.
I think it's awesome, Trisha. So hopefully that's we're going to see how this event turns out as far as, you know, the actual steps of it, and you know, we're going to document it. You all's going to be coming out with us so we can get some video and content and do all the other stuff to share with the rest of you guys. But if you guys have questions, you know, Trisha's a busy woman, but I'm sure she's willing to share some ideas if you guys have ideas of your own,
right?
How you guys can grow your business.
And not just that, but you know, she's running this, but you don't need to watch from the sideline. If you guys have recruits down in the area, you plan to recruit in the area, you have people you know that could be agents in the area, she's throwing an event for you guys. You know, we just got to go in and deliver and help her out however way we can.
Yeah, I think we may have lost Trisha, right? We'll get her back on next time. I mean, when we get an opportunity to actually get a better connection and see her face. But you know, that's an awesome event. And you know, she brought up a really good point for all of you guys out there watching. She talked about like she's great in the field, and she really helps her clients out. I mean, she tells me these super deep connected stories or personal stories with her clients. And you know, that's what I was thinking. She says the time she's spending away with from her family, like, you know, she doesn't want to be selling for the rest of her life. Mm-hmm. Has nothing to do with the fact that she doesn't want to put in the work or she's not good at what she does. It's just, we all have the next step in our lives and what we ultimately want to do. Me myself personally, I was back in the field. Yeah. You know, like I made a couple sales this week, and
nice.
Which, as I was doing it, I'm like, man, I really miss selling. Like it's like a really fun process. Like I love joking with the clients and, you know, building up that relationship.
Yeah.
So, you know, when that happens, it's like, okay, I could be doing this and I'd be getting paid a decent amount of money on my own pen. But I mean, ultimately that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like if I know this, I mean, I can't stay kind of in between and just be like, all right, let's just see how this goes, because I'll get no results and and I'm going to get older. But
that's exactly it. Robert, I was like, if I don't evolve, like I'm gonna, and I'm too old. I'm not that I'm that old, but I'm just, you know, you got to understand, I spent 22 years as a director of finance in the car business selling cars. Right. So just because I've only did this for a handful of years, not even really 3 years, I've already been selling the majority of my life, you know, my adult life. So it's like, it's time to move on, and it's time to do better. It's time to leave more of a legacy. It's time to do something for the community. You know, I think to a point in your life, the money is so wonderful, but you know what did I do to impact my community? What did I do to impact my church? What are my kids going to remember me for? I don't want them to remember me that mom sold a lot of cars and she made a lot of money, but she wasn't really there all the time, but we really had a lot of nice things. I don't want that to be the case. I want them to have all those things. And then the last sentence, we got to see her all the time. Like, my mom was cool, and everybody, you know, loved my mom because she was always helping the church, or she was always able to do whatever, you know? And so I think when you get to the,
we lost her again. Well, I mean, just kind of finished on that point. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You know, we all have to recognize, like, you know, we all have a limited, you know, time on this earth, right? So we got to make the most of the opportunities they're sitting in front of us. And what as much as I love selling, like I knew the next step is to focus on building an agency. So I just went all in on that. I'm not beneath or nothing. I'm not beneath doing anything, so the thing is, if I needed the money or if I didn't have an agency, I would go out and sell, because I don't think that part's that hard.
Yeah.
Like the actual sitting in front of a client and like going over something that they request, it's not that difficult, and just have fun with it. It's a grind, it's process, it's a hard work. I mean, I'm not taking that part away at all, but it's the quicker, if you want to evolve to the next level, get really good at it. Do as much of it as you can, make your money, build up your capital, and then be able to start building an agency if that's in the cards for you. If you want to continue to sell because you love it, no, more power to you. However you want to build your business, it's entirely up to you.
Yeah. The only thing is, when you're selling, you're still trading your time for money versus, when you build, you're multiplying yourself, you're creating value of what you've done and expanding that to your team. And if you like the selling part, you like the communication and the connections with people, you could do the same thing when you're building. You're now communicating and creating the relationships with your agents on an ongoing basis. So there's fun in either way, but yeah, just keep on evolving, because kind of like what Trish is saying, it gets to a point where you have a mastery of it, and what else is challenging at that point, right?
Yeah, and make sure if you guys are looking to build an agency or build a team. I mean, you definitely can't have the attitude of like, I just want to hire people so I don't have to work.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hire people and just let the money roll in, and I'm just gonna sit back and do nothing, because number one, it's not gonna grow.
No.
Number two, you made yourself expendable.
Yep.
And then the thing is, the more that you can put into it, that's how you're actually gonna get tangible results. Because if you want to just hire people and then you don't do anything yourself, you don't have any practical knowledge, you don't have any value to like offer to other people, the thing is, it's just gonna sit there, and then people are gonna get frustrated, and you're gonna have a bunch of problems.
Yeah.
Right. So, just be prepared to put in the work. I mean, your role and the things that you do on day to day may change a little bit, but also, like, I'm also not taking away from the fact that you can do both. If you're still in a position where your agency is not that big yet, it's not going to pay all your bills. I mean, you got to know what your money is. Just take ownership over it, take responsibility for it. And, if you have questions, talk to people whose position you would like to be in.
Yeah.
Right. Because everyone's got an opinion, but it doesn't. Ask yourself when you're getting advice from somebody, because people love giving advice.
Yeah. Everyone got great ideas. Sometimes they just lack execution, right?
Right. Ask yourself, the person you're taking advice from, are you okay switching positions? Would you be okay being in that person's position?
Right.
Or do you want what that person has? So, Trisha, if you are listening, we appreciate you sharing. We'll get you back on next time when your connection's a little bit better. We're actually going
I went and got in the Suburban. I'm about to throw this computer out the window. That drives you crazy, don't it? But yes, what he said, and I don't think I'll ever stop like selling. I just think that I'll sell. I think I'll sell once I build to the level that I feel like God wants me to. I think that I'll sell how to build to the people who want to build and show them how to build.
There you go.
You want to position. All of us should want to position ourselves where we're selling because we want to, not because we have to.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to be realistic about things, and sometimes we have to get to that position.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. So just commit to yourself.
Yeah, and you don't have to completely stop yourself from that either, right? So let's say you're selling, 6 days, 7 days out of the week, and as you're building your team, you're having a higher income from the team building. You can teeter down and just go from 5 sales to 5 days a week to 3 days a week to maybe even just 2 days out of the week, but you still love to do it, and you're still making a good income from it, because as you grow in this business, so is your comp. As your comp goes, you make a pretty penny on even just like 1 or 2 sales as you do it on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I made a couple sales this week. I looked at my bank account. I'm like, this is stupid. I should stop building an agency. I just go back to selling. I'm kidding.
But if you guys don't remember, we have comps all the way up to 145, right? And you get that once you're doing 750 families within the business. So yeah, making 1 sale to 2 sales compared to 100% comp to 145. It's a big chunk.
I know. I was like, man, I feel like I stole something. but Trisha, we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, lastly, so just July 13th, right?
July 13th is Bailey's grand opening, and we'll post all this stuff.
No. It's Thursday, July 14th is the grand opening and open house at her new agency, Golden Family Financial. And she's got a beautiful emblem. Oh, the office is all gold and black again. It's another little baby. And you're gonna love it, Albert. There's so much
I sure will.
faux marble, and it's really, really something. And ribbon cutting on the 15th, Friday morning at 8:00, and then the conference all day, and then we'll have fellowship, and we're actually going to go to a horse racing park that night and have dinner. But I want everybody to know this, because I don't, sometimes this can be misconstrued. I want to be real clear. I'm not saying that I want to build because I just want to stop working. I will work until, they bury me in the ground. That's just what I'm saying is I want to be able to have a better quality of work. So I'm able to spend more time with my family instead of how I'm gone 3 or 4 days in a row. I want to be able to duplicate my hard work, but still be around my family, if that makes sense. But I can't do that without building the capital that's needed. So like what they're saying, you gotta put in, I tell everybody, it's not gonna come to you. You have to go to it. You have to drive. You have to get in your car, buy some leads, and drive to them. They're not coming to you. Okay? They're not coming. They don't even know how to get there. They're not coming. And go to them. They're waiting on you right now. I know for a fact somebody's waiting on me right now. And when I walk in the door, they are going to be so happy to see me, and I'm happy to see them. And we're going to put something together. Okay? But I don't want y'all to think that I just don't want to stop working. I want to re-articulate my scope. So I start a new journey in a different type of work in the same industry. But you got to work hard. The first 2, you just do. You got to really, this grind is real. Get out there and do it. But you know what? It can be so much fun. This is so much fun for me. I don't know about y'all. It is, every morning it's a new adventure. I have so much fun with this. And I love these people, and I love to be in the car, and I can't imagine doing anything else in my life.
Well, you're built for this, definitely, Trisha. So we're gonna let you go on that. We'll have to have you back on when we have a little bit better connection, because we gotta, but we got the announcement July 14th
and 15th
and the 15th. So we'll
put it on the group me too.
That's right. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks, Trisha. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Love you.
Love you too. All right. So that's always exciting stuff, man.
Yeah.
Every time Trisha's got something, it's really
That's
exciting.
awesome.
But actually one thing that she brought up was the next step, because she's obviously approached all these licensed agents, and she's trying to build an agency this way. One thing she mentioned was approaching businesses, which perfectly dovetails into our next guests.
Yeah.
One of our top producers. We got Carrie Roy Favela.
That's me.
You on?
You actually said it right.
What do you mean? Using both last names?
Favela, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I mean,
We
you
get
showed
all
reports
kinds of
differently.
things.
Yeah.
I call my husband Favarelli because that's what somebody called him in high school from the stage. So
Nice.
whenever I'm mad at him, I call him Favarelli.
Well, first of all, congratulations on qualifying for sales manager.
Hey.
Yay.
I thought it was senior sales manager, but that's
All
coming soon.
thanks to my team, my amazing team, which is literally one other person that's writing right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. You guys helped out 76 families last month between the two of you guys.
We've really been trying to just put our heads down and work really hard, because we want to be in a position to where we feel like we can grow. And our goal is to be in an office by the end of summer, so that whenever both of our kids, groups of kids go back to school, we are, ready to keep growing and start recruiting. Sorry, I've got tumors hanging out.
And just a shout out to you guys, you and Tanya, who finished the #1 producer for last month. first week in June, you guys are pacing 25 families already. So you're pacing to a senior sales manager already. So
Awesome.
Yeah, and we've
Looking
got
great.
I mean, I've actually been getting back out in the field lately, and really trying to connect with my clients, because it's, you know, there's a reason why we're all in this business with helping people, and that human connection can really make a huge difference. So, you know, I've been working out in the field a lot with my clients. And what's funny is whenever I get out in the field and actually get to work with my clients, I end up writing so many more policies than if I would have just done it over the phone. You know, had I done it over the phone, I probably would have gotten one, maybe two from going through, you know, these kids are crazy, from going through everything. But then whenever I go back out in the field, it sets me up for a return visit also. One of the things that I absolutely love about Aetna, whenever I'm writing Aetna, is the fact that I can have my client's policy sent to me. So whenever I'm sitting down with them, I give them the option, would you like it to be sent to you? Or I can have it sent to me and I can come back out and visit with you and we can go over your policy together. So a lot of times whenever I give them that option, they say, oh yeah, come back and see me. And then I set up whenever I'm coming back, hey, if you know anybody, if you have grandkids, if you have children, let's talk about them whenever I come back, so that I'm already setting up so that whenever I come back, I'm working on that referral list again coming back. So I'm asking them for referrals whenever I'm sitting down with them. And then whenever I'm setting up that appointment to go back and visit them again, hey, do you think that you can have any of those people here to meet with me? And I talk about this business everywhere I go. We were in GameStop this morning, me and the boys, because my oldest was buying an Oculus.
Nice.
And that's what he's trying to get me to buy the games for him now. So that's the manager there at the store, you know, she's on the phone with somebody who obviously works in her industry too, complaining about her job. And I was like, you know, I feel you. I did, 20 years of retail management. And my son says, and now you get to work from home. And I was like, and now I get to work from home. And I told her, I was like, that's something that you should maybe think about doing if you're looking to do something different. And she was like, well, she said that her cousin had just gotten into the insurance industry. And I was like, I'd be happy to talk to you about it more, and left her my card. And, so I mean, it's about talking to everybody, kind of just everywhere that you go. And it's not about, creating any sort of pressure or anything, but not only is there a need for what we do as far as like writing life insurance for people, everybody needs it. There's also a need for people understanding that there's more than just the insurance industry. It's about creating a different type of life for people too. Whenever they're looking for something else to do, it's really, I don't want to say it's an easy business to get into, because that makes it sound like you devalue it whenever you say that it's an easy business to get into. But
Right.
There's so many reasons for us to do what we do that it comes across as an easy business to get into. Because there's just so much reason behind it. There's so much heart behind it for most people. Whenever you start explaining to people what it is that you do and why you do it, like it really does make it seem easy. This is what I deal with 24/7. Like that's
How dare you?
This is probably why you love going into the field as well. You get a chance.
This
get
is
away
why
from
I'm
your
really working back out into
distraction.
the field right now. It's gotten that much harder to work at home.
Tell
but
those
yeah, I
kids
mean,
the shirts, the Elite FFL shirts are
oh,
coming.
they
on the way,
don't,
by
they
the way.
didn't know that they were coming. Now they know
What?
Okay.
that they're sending you so that you can rep the business too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's more concerned about me buying this game right now than anything.
Yes, Mom.
Can you
Beat
wait?
Saber.
Can you wait 10 minutes? You need to wait 10 minutes. Thank you for your money.
I need change.
I don't think so. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, but part of what I've really been working on, me and Tanya have both been working on is getting our mind right. These last couple of weeks, now that the kids are out of school, I'm really having to revisit my schedule again and really trying to say, okay, what is my timeline? Like, what are the times that I am focused just on my business? And Talise is really helping me a lot with that. Man, let me tell you
Talise,
that,
by the way, for everyone that doesn't know, that's our performance coach that we have on retainer for Elite. So
and
she's available for all of you guys.
incredible. If anybody's not doing that yet, I highly, highly recommend it. Even if you just try it out for a couple of sessions. I'm taking advantage of every single session that I can possibly get because it is incredible work. It's done so much for me as far as performance evaluation for myself, for how I want to grow my business, for the things that are really important to me in my business, the things that I struggle with in my business and kind of why maybe I struggle with some of those things. That's all been incredible work to help me get through and continue to just work on that growth. And part of the thing too is like asked me, well, where do you want to be now? Where do you want to be by the end of the year? And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know. And she goes, well, guess what? I got you, because she understands what we do.
Right.
So it's so like tailored into the business that we're in. And the coaching is just so perfect for that, that it's really just invaluable of what it is that you've put out there for us. I can't, I messaged you the other day to tell you thank you, because I mean, I don't know that I would have approached doing this for myself had it not been put out there. And then once you start doing it, you realize how much you needed it, or how much it's helped me, even just in the last month that I've been going through these sessions with her.
Well, just get over the misconception. So Talisa is our performance psychologist, performance coach, which
Right.
you have sessions with her. I'm
Yeah.
gonna start my sessions back up with myself personally, but because she's a performance psychologist, was your initial reaction, Carrie, were you thinking like, oh, I'm gonna lay down on the couch, I'm gonna tell her what my feelings and like all this other stuff?
No, so that wasn't what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be, I am not a therapy type of person at all. Like I'd much rather sit down with friends and, have a few margaritas and spill my guts
Right.
over. That's more the type of like therapy that I'm into, either that or, retail therapy.
But did you have an initial apprehension about
didn't.
that?
I really truly thought that it was going to be, more performance coaching. And then, we started to get into some of the things of like the mental performance barriers. And I was like, oh yeah, I've got some issues there. So kind of getting into some of that nitty gritty. But what I love about working with Talise is that it's not therapy, even though there may be some issues with, there may be some mental performance barriers that may get into kind of like some of those therapy things, but she has such a great way of kind of like redirecting that session to where it relates to my business and why that mental performance barrier, whether that be my anxiety, which I struggle with, and how my anxiety may affect my business. So some of those mental performance barriers may be like therapy sessions, and you would feel like you are in a therapy session because you're kind of spilling some of your guts. And I'm going, okay, these are some of the reasons why I have anxiety, why I feel the way that I do about certain things. And she says, okay, well, let's work towards this, because this is how it's focused on my business. This is how it's going to affect my business. This is how it's going to affect my growth. So she does a really great job of focusing it back to the business, even though some of the things that you may talk about may be a little therapy-ish. Sometimes whenever we're talking about people and personalities and performance and everything, it is like peeling an onion. Sometimes you do get down into some things that are a little bit tear jerky, because that's business still is personal, whether you want to believe it or not. Like business is personal. And the people that we are is part of our business. And so you're going to have some personal things that will either make you better at your job, or sometimes you may have things that prevent you from the growth that you're looking for. And then having somebody help you see what those things are and getting over that, giving you the tools, teaching you the tools to get over those things is really valuable to your growth, and going like, oh, okay, I can do this,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
can get past that.
Yeah, that's true.
But
During our little conference, right, Talise had that quick identifier or two examples, she said, where some agents that she spoke with, one of their reasons or not having a mental barrier was they felt they needed to be perfect to get out there into the field, which you'll never happen because you got to fail to get better. And another one was they thought that a conflict, if there's like a rebuttal or objection, it's a conflict, it's not selling. So it's just like personal beliefs that you grew up with or had a different background or industry it's a complete opposite shift in the sales industry. So these
Right.
little things will help you identify that instead of considering, or like your personal beliefs of like limited things.
Self-limiting beliefs and,
Right.
and barriers that you
Right.
place upon yourself. And Carrie, you made a fantastic point. I mean, I think it, yeah, sometimes it is our personal stuff, because when I first started seeing Talise, which I resisted for a long time.
Yeah.
Because like she kept trying to like get me to have sessions with her. I was like, nah, I'm good. And I was in denial for a lot of stuff, because I was like, nah, I'm fine. Like, but I
Yeah,
think,
you'd rather go out with friends and drink than to actually deal with your issues.
which I still do, but
Me too.
and while it's therapeutic to an extent, but the thing
Right.
is, they're also not like, they don't care about my business in that extent, so they're not
Mhm.
going to try to redirect me into any
Right.
direction. I'm just going to just vent to them. They're going to be like, yeah, whatever, your boss sucks, and working sucks.
Take
and all
another
this other
shot.
stuff, right? but I think what I learned the most was in the process of that, I was able to actually verbalize and say things
Yep.
out loud, and then as it left my mouth, I'm like, I really think that way. And I'm like, I can see why that's been holding me back. And it wasn't until I actually had someone
Right.
to actually verbalize it, because she would ask those type of questions. And then more importantly, I think it's more the self-identification, recognition of the things that are in your the mental barriers that are in your way that you don't even recognize are there. So once you identify it, look, it doesn't mean that we're clearly not perfect people. We got tons of stuff that we need to improve on and work on. But the second we recognize it, at least we identify it's there. And the thing is, we make the decision to fix it, or we recognize, we accept it. It is what it is, and we got to move around it somehow,
Mhm.
right? And then
For sure.
that's what allows us to be productive. Just being able
Right.
to recognize these things. So I'm glad it's having that effect for you.
That's awesome.
It's been absolutely amazing. I also part of what her and I were talking about this last week too was I was like, I hope that everybody on this team understands this is not free. Albert is forking out a pretty penny for these sessions in order to help all of us. So it's not that he's putting it out there for us to have therapy. Obviously, he doesn't think that we need therapy. Albert thinks that we're all very mentally stable. We're not, but he thinks we are. This is performance. This is business based. And she is a great coach at really bringing things back to the business side.
Yeah. Speaking of business, like,
Yes.
there's been a tremendous growth from you guys in the last 2 months, right? Like there's been a big uptick of your business for you and
Mhm.
Tanya. What do you think you can relate, or you can share with the group that they can take a part of or get out of it?
So Tanya and I both started in this industry in a little bit different fashion than just life insurance. We both started in small business benefits. So our foundation of this industry was to visit into small businesses and write, cancer, dental, vision, hospital indemnity plans, things like that. So that's kind of like what our history is based upon. Now, my history was not as long as Tanya's, so I feel like I transitioned out of that a little bit easier and a little bit faster. And then we kind of just reevaluated together, and we were like, you know what, we can still do this for businesses. Like, I literally get on my computer, I will Google small businesses in my area close to me. I like to look for little business parks. I call up those businesses. I ask who handles their employee benefits. I just get a name. I go to that business park. I literally go knock on doors, drop off my business card. Hey, I just wanted to drop off my business card for so-and-so. Love to get on your calendar to see if I could come back out and visit with you. Whenever I do finally get to talk to that person, I tell them, look, for small businesses in the area, what I do is I offer a service that is completely free to you, the employer, where I come out and I educate your employees about life insurance policies that are available to them. I can also help them with other insurance needs if they do have them. However, what I do focus on is just the education about the different life insurance policies. There is no obligation for them at this point, but what I can do is I can come out to your business. I'll bring refreshments, educate your employees just so that they know that there's somebody out there to help them. I will gather their information if they're interested in talking to me more about these policies, and then I'll get back to them at a time that's convenient for them so that I'm not taking them off of your work floor.
Right.
It's literally a 15-minute presentation that we'll do for these employees, and it does take more steps. So here's the thing. yes, I get a lot of leads at one time because you're talking to 15, 20, 30 people at one time whenever you get to do one of these presentations, but you're contacting that business between 6 to 10 times before you get into that business to actually talk to their employees.
Yeah.
But it does create a different type of atmosphere. It does create a different type of lead because you've already educated them. They've already got it in their mind. You have on that referral form that I give them, that interest sheet that I give them, I've already got what type of policy they're interested in, about how much they think that they're interested in, if they're married, if they have kids, if they have parents that need to be insured. So whenever I'm getting one interest form, I'm potentially looking at, 2 to 4 to 5 policies per interest form, because you're usually talking to somebody who's married, somebody who has kids. These are all typically blue collar employees. These are working employees who see the value in life insurance. A lot of times these are the people that see the value.
Yeah.
So
Common
they're
examples,
looking-
right? You target like tattoo parlors, you target like
Yeah, so I
cosmetologists,
typically target
dental shops.
businesses that are not targeted by my starting industry, which was Colonial Life and like Aflac and those small
Yeah.
business benefit type of places. They will not go into tattoo parlors. They will not go into bars. They will not go into salons. They will not go into barbershops. They won't go sell in those places because they consider those places to have high turnover. So if it was a payroll deduction, it would cause a
Yes.
lot of problems. Ours are bank deductions. So if somebody leaves that job, it doesn't matter because it's not connected to the business. They own their policy, so they
Right.
can leave at any point.
Yeah.
So I focus on those industries where they don't have insurance people knocking on their doors and saying, hey, let me come in and do a presentation for your employees. These shops literally never have people come and see them because nobody's going to sell to them. But let me tell you, if you've ever been into a tattoo shop or a barber shop, you know that those guys are making bank. They've got
Mhm.
the money to spend on these policies. They have no retirement plans. They have no 401ks. It's a pretty easy way to get referrals. It's a pretty easy way to get leads. I've done presentations in barbershops while guys are getting their hair cut and had the customers asking for my information also.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are
That's
awesome.
awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I mean, aside from the fact that it's able to generate you more business, and that lead costs you nothing. For
Yep.
for all of you guys out there listening, say
It
my
takes
lead,
what it is though is that it's the time versus the money.
Money.
So it's investing a lot more time into those particular types of leads. And that's one of the things that we typically tell people whenever you're starting in this industry. You've either got time or you've got money to invest in it.
Mhm.
So with those types of leads, it's definitely investing the time. That's why I still do live transfers. I still purchase leads. I still make those calls. The other part of it is that I need to know how to do all of those things so that whenever my business does start growing and I do have more agents, which I do want, I'm able to help all of them. I need to know how to do those things for all of the agents that I'm going to bring on because, I'm looking to help other people build their business, other people to do what I do, other people to be able to be home with their crazy kids, whenever it's summertime. All of those things, that's those are the things that I want to see other people get to do because, it's pretty tough as a mom in working industries, and it's tough to be a stay-at-home mom. It's tough to be a working mom. It's tough to be a stay-at-home dad, working dad, whatever it is. Look, being a parent is a tough thing. But being able to provide for my children and being able to be home with them at the same time, like, I don't know that I could have asked for anything better. This is my first summer actually home with my kids. And this is, it's been pretty amazing. Like, I definitely feel like I'm developing a closer relationship with my kids, and I couldn't ask for anything more than that.
Awesome.
Well, in the meantime, your business is burgeoning. I actually really love your approach because even though we have leads, you're still going out there not only to drum up more business, but the reason why you've had success with this, you've been very intentional. You thought about the type of people that you want to approach, and it really it fills a void because these people, as you mentioned, they don't get approached. they're not going to they don't have these benefits. It's a win-win situation. Every time you can create a win-win situation, I mean, you give yourself opportunities to be able to continue to grow and build your business.
That and those type of industries, I mean, those are referral industries too. Think about it. They build their business off of referrals too. So they really understand whenever it comes to referrals, they get it whenever you're done writing a policy for them and you say, hey, was there everything okay? Was there anything that I should have done differently for you? They get it. And you say, hey, okay, can you give me some referrals? I'd love to be able to bring you some $25 gift cards because, that's what I give for referrals who end up getting a policy. That's the type of thing that they get. They understand that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The best thing is you're running your business.
Yes.
However you're doing it, you have ownership in your business. And, with FFL, it's a great thing. We have a plug and play model. Buy leads, go give them a call, sell insurance. But name of the game is we have a plan for anyone. So you can
It's
sell,
sweet.
you could target, you could prospect. You have
You
all
can
the ability.
Literally do it anywhere and everywhere. One of the moms at MMA, I was talking to her one day and she's like, oh, my husband needs life insurance. And then we were talking about it and I was telling her like, hey, your son's young right now. You need to buy his policy now, because you can lock it in and get it at a really good price now. And she's like, oh, I'm going to have a pool party with all the moms and you can come out and write life insurance
Boom.
policies for all the kids. And I was like, oh my God, we could do life insurance parties, like Tupperware parties.
Yeah.
And I could totally sponsor all the margaritas. I mean, really,
There you go.
there's a whole nother field out there of things that we could do that nobody's thinking about. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine if you could do a life insurance party and get 10 friends, and then the host of the party gets a $25 gift card per person that gets a policy.
And
I mean,
remember,
come on.
guys, compared to a Tupperware party where you have to supply the Tupperware, dude, everyone can just call Mutual of Omaha, Americo, Aetna, ask for all the product brochures in there, and you pass it out. That's your product.
I got them. That's the thing.
That's
you
it.
have them. They're free. They send them to you. This is
Give
my
them a call.
my client I'm going to see back on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many opportunities out there. I mean, I literally made flyers to put them on the doors in my neighborhood. I mean, there's so many opportunities to just talk to people about what you do. And whether they're interested in getting a policy or they're interested in doing it for themselves, there are so many opportunities that to just talk to people.
I'm gonna be perfectly blunt. I mean, if someone invited me to an insurance party, I'd be like, yeah, no thanks, not interested.
But if you
What
heard
if
about
it
the
was
drinks,
margaritas?
However, yeah, right. No. Obviously the margaritas help, but then if someone was trying to share this idea with me with the amount of enthusiasm you just did right there, I mean, like I'd be way more receptive.
right.
So I mean, I think everybody just needs to like understand that, like if you want to go out and prospect like Carrie and Tanya have, and they've done it with great success. I mean, you got to be very intentional about it, and you also have to own whatever you're doing. So there's like we were talking about Trisha earlier. Nothing can stop you if you genuinely want to do it.
And let me tell you what, she's hard to follow. I mean, she's fire. She's hard to follow. So
Yeah.
I was literally sitting here going, how am I going to follow that?
Uh,
I mean, that's incredible. That recruiting event, I'm like, oh my God. I took notes about everything that she did because I'm going to plan on doing it here in Houston one day.
There you go.
Awesome. And I'm sure you gave a lot of ideas. I mean, you did great too. I mean, both you ladies just gave some amazing information today. You guys had a ton of energy, which I always love hearing from both you ladies. So anything else you want to share with the group before we let you go?
Just keep putting in the work. I posted something on my Instagram the other day. I've got a little framed saying up here that just says, do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. And sometimes we gotta, dig in the trenches until we can sit on that beach writing policies, because we just got to do what we have to do until we can do what we want to do.
There you go.
Well, I love how you're helping all these people out there and just going out there and seeking them out because they wouldn't have this access anyway otherwise.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
So yeah, I mean, actually one of, and to wrap this up, I mean, there's a definite need out there. I actually had my former mechanic, him and his former partner, they split off, and he actually reached out to me, and I actually saw him yesterday. He opened up a new shop. He wanted to give me the tour. I actually went to go check it out. Beautiful place down in Irvine.
Mhm.
And then he wanted to sit down because he actually wanted to go over benefits, for his employees. And he said, like, obviously, paying for it's gonna be a challenge. But he's like, I'm trying to recruit the best employees that I can get. And he's trying to get it from car dealerships. They specialize in European cars.
Wow.
And he said, in order for me to be able to get the best technicians, I need to be competitive.
Yeah.
And they can get benefits, they can get health insurance, and but what can set us apart, I want to set them up with retirement plans, the IULs and annuities and all this other stuff. So like, he wants to set up so we can go out and do individual consultations with all the employees. So we're adding value to these guys. You add value to people, then the
Exactly.
thing is they bring more value to you. So I mean, like, I was out there yesterday. I'm like, I felt like, hey, I'm a carry. But yeah, I mean, so for anyone out there, I mean, if you guys are out there, regardless of, I would still always recommend you got to run your business. You got to invest into it. You got to invest into yourself. You got to get your leads. But if that's getting to a point where you don't have the money to start off, or if you hit a wall or something, go and do something different.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop you
Sure.
if you genuinely want to go put in the effort and put in the time. So the solutions are out there. Trisha has clearly shown that on the building side, and she's out there in the field, and Carrie's showing that, and she's taking these ideas, and I'm sure she's gonna go and produce some results off of what she just learned today. So hopefully that was helpful to you guys. It was truly helpful to me. I learned a lot from listening to both of you ladies, and excited for both of your promotions, and looking forward to you guys continuing to grow. And for all of you guys out there that are on here, just appreciate you guys hopping on. Hopefully you guys can take some of this and apply it to your business, and even if in a small amount, but I think we all got to take some action.
Yep.
So let's go out there, protect some families, do what we can, grow our business. Let's go be elite, guys.
Have a good one.